Have you ever heard of the creepy blob? That mysterious, pulsating mass that supposedly appears out of nowhere, defying all known laws of biology. It's a story that has haunted the corners of the internet for years, a modern myth that feels like it crawled right out of a classic sci-fi horror movie. But where did this legend come from? And is there any truth to it at all? Today, we're diving deep into the petri dish to uncover the fascinating origin of the creepy blob. It all starts not in a top-secret lab, but with something far more common and, frankly, beautiful. The slime mold. Specifically, a species called *Physarum polycephalum*. Now, I know what you're thinking. Slime mold. That doesn't sound very creepy. And you're right. In its natural habitat, this organism is an unsung hero of the forest floor, a brilliant yellow network that helps decompose dead organic matter. It's not an animal, not a plant, and not a fungus. It's a protist, a single-celled amoeboid that bands together to form a massive Beezy-Booter superorganism called a This plasmodium is what gave birth to the legend. It can move, albeit very slowly, seeking out food sources like oat flakes or mushroom spores. It can solve mazes, find the most efficient routes between food points, and even appear to have a form of primitive memory. Scientists are fascinated by it because it demonstrates complex problem-solving behavior without having a brain or a nervous system. It's a biological marvel that challenges our very definition of intelligence. So how did this fascinating, harmless organism become the creepy blob of internet lore? The transformation began with time-lapse videos. When you speed up hours of a slime mold's movement into a few seconds, the effect is unsettling. The slow, methodical creep becomes a pulsating, throbbing crawl. The gentle expansion and retraction look like a living, breathing blob from outer space. These videos went viral, capturing the public's imagination. People started sharing them with captions like, "What is this thing?" or "Alien life form found on Earth." The narrative started to build. The slime mold's scientific name, *Physarum polycephalum*, was often dropped, replaced by more ominous titles. People started adding their own spooky details. Stories emerged of blobs appearing in people's basements, of strange substances found in remote forests that pulsed with a life of their own. Each comment added a new layer to the myth. The blob became a creature that could supposedly think, that was growing, and that nobody could explain. This is the classic recipe for a modern myth, or what we call a creepypasta. It starts with a grain of truth-a-real, scientifically documented organism. Then, you add a visually compelling, slightly out-of-context element, like the time-lapse videos. Finally, the collective imagination of the internet takes over, embellishing the story and stripping away the boring scientific facts until all that is left is the creepy, mysterious core. The slime mold's ability to solve mazes was no longer a demonstration of decentralized intelligence. It was proof that the blob was *thinking*, maybe even *hunting*. The myth also plays on some of our deepest, most primal fears. The fear of the unknown, of amorphous, shapeless things that don't fit into our neat biological categories. It's the same fear that made movies like The Blob and The Thing so effective. The idea of a life form that can grow, change shape, and absorb things is inherently terrifying. The internet just gave this old fear a new, seemingly real-life host. What's also fascinating is how the scientific community has reacted. Instead of just debunking the myth, many scientists have used the creepy blob phenomenon as a teaching moment. They use the viral videos to draw people in and then explain the incredible, actual science of slime molds. They highlight how *Physarum* is used in research to model the growth of city transport networks and to understand the fundamentals of cellular In a way, the myth has become a gateway to genuine scientific curiosity. For example, did you know that if you chop a piece of the plasmodium off, both pieces will continue to live and function independently? And if they meet again, they can merge back together into one organism. They can also go dormant for long periods when conditions are bad, drying out into a hard crust, only to reanimate with a bit of water. It sounds like science fiction, but it's just another Tuesday for a slime mold. It's this blend of the real and the fantastical that makes its myth so resilient. The story of the creepy blob is a perfect case study in how misinformation and mythology spread in the digital age. A simple, natural wonder gets filtered through our screens, amplified by our anxieties, and transformed into a monster. It's a reminder to always be a little skeptical of what you see online and to do a little digging before you believe. The real story is often far more interesting and far less scary than the myth. So, the next time you see a video of a strange, pulsating blob, don't panic. You're not looking at an alien invasion or a failed lab experiment. You're looking at phaserum, Polycephalum asterisk, one of nature's most bizarre and brilliant survivors. A master of efficiency and the unwitting star of a modern-day campfire story. The creepy blob isn't real, but the amazing organism that inspired it absolutely is. And honestly, the truth is way cooler. Thanks so much for hanging out and exploring this modern myth with me. If you enjoyed this journey from science to sight, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Let me know in the comments if you've ever fallen for a myth like this one. See you in the next video!